Yo, what's happening? Houston, this is the place to be, and I am DMC in the place to be with my man Brad Gilmore and the one and only, the champ, the man Booker T. So let's get it poppin'.
Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. Join the six-time world heavyweight champion, two-time WWE Hall of Famer, and WWE NXT announcer, Booker T. Booker T. Alongside his right-hand man, the BOAT, Brad Gilmore. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, as always. We're getting ready to do this thing. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Man, we coming off a huge weekend out in Las Vegas, Nevada. We were coming to you live from the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino for the big fight, man. So I'm still a little giddy, man, because I got cash in my pocket. Oh, yes, man. How you feel, dog?
I feel good, Book. I got a little something too. I mean, I don't know. Do we tell the tale of what happened? Do we go into that?
We might as well, man. We might as well tell the tale, man.
So I will say this: we were at the MGM Grand for the Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora fight, and Sebastian Fundora, who don't know, for people who don't know, took the fight on 2 weeks' notice after Keith one-time Thurman had to pull out due to the bicep injury. He was a huge underdog. And I think to put this into great perspective, leading up the week to the fight, like leading up to it, Booker kept asking me, hey, what are the lines on that? What are the lines on that? And every time, correct me if I'm wrong, you were surprised by where the lines were at the moment, right? You were always like, wow, that sounds like a big, because he was a big underdog. You know, at 450 is eventually the day before the fight what it came in at. And so the whole time you're kind of like, I don't know, man. I feel like Sebastian Fundora can get this done. Why is he such an underdog? I don't get it. Right. And then we go to breakfast and we pull up to the MGM and you were like, let's go to the sports book. Right. And then do you want to take it from here? What did you do for the first time in the history of your boxing fandom career?
First time. I mean, I've been a huge a fan of the boxing game. I've always picked the fights. I've normally come out. You know, I guess I've been upward 80% or higher.
I'd say so.
You know? And but I've never placed a bet. Just because my uncle, man, I used to have an uncle, man, down Uncle Henry, down in Dallas, Texas. I remember one time he almost lost a house. And I say, man, I don't think I ever want to gamble ever. You know what I mean? Because you can get caught up. But I say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to place a bet. For the first time in my life, I'm going to go ahead and place a bet and see how this thing play out. And I tell you, I say, you know, I'm going to put a couple hundred down just to see how it feels. And I tell you, when I put that bet down, something was different. For the rest of the day. I mean, literally anticipating that fight. I mean, getting there, just walking through the people, getting to the seat, you know, sitting down and anticipating watching that fight. And then to watch it, you know, from round 1 to round 12. I got caught up because I thought we was in the 10th round and we was in the 12th round. I'm serious. That's like I swear.
That's true.
That's how caught up I was because I was like just on the edge, man, on the edge of my seat. And the way I was seeing that fight, I could see it, you know, one way, but in the fight game, the judges could see it totally different.
Right.
You know, and then you got 3 judges and all 3 judges are seeing it totally different, you know. So I just didn't know how that thing was going to play out. But lo and behold.
Wait. Before we get to lo and behold, when they were about to announce the winner of the fight. Now, when there's a fight like this, 12 rounds goes the distance. It was a bloodbath for those who didn't see it. I mean, Sebastian Fundora's nose was probably broken from it. He was dripping out of it. Tim Tszyu's head had gashed open from what Booker alleged to be a jab, but was most certainly an elbow. And so at the end of this bloodbath, everyone's standing and applauding. We got to see a great fight. Almost everyone, though. Book, what do you want to recreate what you looked like when they are about to read? They are about to read the scorecard. Everyone in the arena is standing up. And what are you doing? That's what you're doing right there. You're looking down with your hand over your face. And then they go 116, 112, Tim Tszyu. 116, 112, Fundora. And then we're with, by the way, shout out to AJ Hoffman, formerly of this station. He was out there in Vegas with us. We got to sit next to him, and AJ goes, it's a tie. And a Booker, his head sinks even deeper down, right? And then they go 115, 113, and his eyebrows perk up like this. What? For the winner? And then they have to drag it out. The towering inferno. And then it's like, oh, man.
It was like I won the fight. It was like I won, man. I swear, man, that anticipation, I can see what these gamblers go through now, man. You can get caught up in that, man. You can get caught up in that feeling right there, man.
It was a good feeling.
It was a little too close, of course. It was a little too close for comfort for me, but I give Tim Tszyu a whole lot of credit. He fought through a lot of adversity. But Fundora, he fought through a lot of adversity because, like you say, his nose had to be broken. I don't know if you saw the press conference, but he had a big piece of cotton sticking out of it, and, like the blood was still, dripping. But both of those guys went out there and fought. I've been watching a lot of the comments about that fight, a lot of reactions, from the pundits, a lot of the fighters. And a lot of people say they should have stopped that fight. You know what? I don't know. Tim Tszyu, he wanted to fight on. I didn't see any quit in Sebastian Fundora. He's been in a lot of bloody wars in his career. And I just didn't see either one of those guys wanting to take a step back.
No, it didn't look like it, but I will say there were a few moments, especially with Tim Tszyu, that gash he had on the top of his head never went away. I mean, it never stopped bleeding, right? The bleeding never went away. It was consistent throughout the entirety of the fight. I'd never seen so much Vaseline globbed on one man's head. Like every round, they'd put it looked like half a jar to try to get that bleeding to stop.
I was listening to, like I say, some of the pundits talk about this fight, and I was listening to Jim Lampley, who was very prominent, when HBO was, in its heyday as far as boxing went now. I think Jim Lampley has a podcast or something like that. But Jim Lampley actually made the assertion that the elbow was intentional from Sebastian Fundora. Say Fundora did that on purpose. Do you believe that in any way, shape?
No, I do not.
My thing is you couldn't, even if you elbowed the guy in the top of the head, you couldn't expect something like that to happen. You know what I mean? And from the way the action was going, there was no way Sebastian Fundora could actually find himself in position to say, well, if you get in closer, I can't see that. You know what I mean? So to make a comment like that, man, I think it's just totally out of bounds from Jim Lampley to even be thinking something like that.
Does Jim not think that perhaps the 9 inches in height difference had anything to do with the fact that Tim Tszyu might have been literally head level with Sebastian Fundora's elbows?
Yeah.
They're up like this and they're punching. Come on, man.
I mean,
come on now.
I mean, the elbow, you could tell when somebody throw an elbow on intentionally. Normally it's going to come from, hands up, elbow coming across. It's not going to be from the elbow going down like an MMA fight or something like that. So I just when I read that from Jim Lampley, I say, man, that's just totally out of bounds. It's just totally out of line to make Sebastian Fundora look like he was a dirty fighter looking to go in there and try to find a way out by cheating. I just thought that was just totally out of bounds from Jim Lampley.
That's whack.
He should be more. I think he should be a little bit more responsible coming from somebody like Jim Lampley.
Well, the thing is, too, when we even looked at the replay later on at the hotel, remember because we were trying to figure out when did it exactly happen. It was hard to even see it.
You couldn't even tell that he actually got. It looked like he caught him on the side, opposed to the top. So for me, I couldn't really tell where it came from. But I tell you what, it was bad. It was gushing. Tim Tszyu actually I was looking at some of the press conferences after the fight, and Tim Tszyu said he leaned over and the blood was gushing out of the top of his head like a water fountain. That's how bad it was. And that's what he said. Well, this might be pretty bad. But we got to take a break, guys. Got to take a break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
And this episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sex. Hey, you remember when you was always ready to go? I'm talking about strapping the rocket on it, man. Going straight to the moon. I'm talking about getting it done. If you want that extra confidence, I got something for you. Listen up. BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, but in a chewable tablet at the fraction of the cost.
But the great thing, Book, is you can take it any time, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
The best part, guys, it's all done online on the internet. So it's no doctor's visit, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy or any of that.
And the thing is, Book, Blue Chew's tablets, they're made right here in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package, so no one is the wiser.
Let's just get it out there, guys. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. It's like this. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Booker at your checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping, man. That's BlueChew.com. Use promo code Booker to receive your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And, we want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast. Chew it and do it. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, talking about big fight night went down this Saturday night in Las Vegas, Nevada, live from T-Mobile Arena. And the thing is, man, I'm sitting there trying to read this. And the thing is, I was excited about the main event, but I was even more so excited about the co-main event. Because I said the co-main event was going to be a knockdown drag out. I actually picked that fight as well. I just didn't want to bet on it because I just didn't think I could win any money on it. But I felt like that fight was going to go exactly the way I said it was going to go. We were talking about it before the fight started, and Brad, I think, said, what round? I said 7. I said 7.
You said 7, yeah.
And the fight went 8 rounds, and Rolly Romero was stopped by Isak Pitbull Cruz, therefore relinquishing his 140-pound championship. And the thing is, man, I thought that fight was going to be that way. I had a lot of thought as far as Rolly going in there and landing a big shot early in that fight and perhaps changing the momentum of it, maybe swinging the pendulum a little bit his way, because I thought Pitbull Cruz was going to just keep coming forward the whole night. But I ran into Rolly.
And he did. Pitbull went forward the whole night.
And he did. But I ran into Rolly near the bar the night before the fight. And I'm like, man, I need to see what the odds are if I can get some money on Pitbull, because because I was talking to Rolly and he just seemed like he was totally not 100% focused on the task at hand, as far as this could actually be a war. This could actually be the difference maker as far as your career goes, as far as you stepping up to that next level, getting paid that big money, or going to the back of the line. It just didn't seem like he had that thought process when I saw him the night before the fight. It just seemed like he was totally underestimating Isak Pitbull Cruz' ability and talent, will, heart, determination, all of that. And he paid for it. I saw at the presser where they was talking back and forth, and he went and actually had a chain made with Pitbull's face on a chihuahua. You know what I mean? And said, I'll give you this after the fight. You won't be getting a title. But I tell you, man, Isak Pitbull Cruz, he has impressed me since he first came on scene, when I first started, paying attention. And then, like I say, the fight that he had with Tank Davis, I see that fight being a whole lot different now if Pitbull fought Tank Davis. Would it be the outcome be different? Maybe not. I don't know. Perhaps, but he's matured so much more since that fight, and I tell you, man, he just ran through Rolly Romero, and congratulations to the new champion.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd was strongly behind Isak Cruz, and he almost got him out of there in the first round and took him to middle of the eighth, or a little bit past the middle of the eighth to get it done. But I'll tell you what, that guy has a game face like none other, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he was smiling before the fight, but as soon as the ding ding, he had the same emotion the entire time. And his motion didn't change until they announced him as the winner and the champion.
Yeah.
And he got it done.
Then he was smiling big time.
It's
a party, baby. Nah, man. But I tell you, I wonder where Rolly's gonna go from here, because they were talking to Ellaby about him, and then it was saying, just a fight game. You win some, you lose some. But I see so many holes in Rolly Romero's game. There's no way he's going to be able to compete at the highest level, fighting the way he's fighting right now. Does he have a big punch? Yeah, of course he does. And the thing is, he actually can box a little bit, but he's definitely going to have to get with the right people if he's thinking about getting to that next level. Because right now, like I say, a lot of holes was exposed on Saturday night as far as Rolly Romero goes.
Yeah, and you are interested. I am interested into where he ends up from here, but I guess we'll find out. I mean, look, I think after a loss like that, don't you think you'd be a little bit motivated to get back in the game as quickly as you can, or do you think you're going to?
No, I think no. I mean, you want to get back in the game, but I think you want to try to find yourself. I think you want to fight some lower level opponents. Try to find that knockout. And the thing is, like I said, when Rolly won the championship, it was a vacated championship. Can't remember the guy that he won the title from, but it wasn't that says a lot right there. It wasn't a guy that he wasn't expected to go out there and he's a beat or have a good chance at beating. That they needed that title on Rolly Romero to actually put him, to actually make a marquee fight against Isak Pitbull Cruz. So Rolly really hadn't had a real big win in quite some time. Actually, you can't really think of the one big win that Rolly actually has on his record. You really can't.
So then, what if you were in his corner? What would you advise him?
Like I say, man, we got to go back to the drawing board. I'd be like Mick with Rocky. When Rocky won the championship, and he was, he wasn't fighting bums, you know what I mean? But but he was fighting a lot of has-beens, you know what I mean? Right. And I think you need to find yourself. Rolly's still a young guy, but he can find himself on the outside looking in. One more fight like this, Rolly Romero's career is over. He might as well retire because he'll never get another big fight. And one thing about the fight game, if you ain't fighting at the elite level, getting the elite money, it's a rough game.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hell of a way to make a living, but those millions or those thousands really help out. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. It's
Yeah,
gonna be interesting to see where he ends up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like
I don't
those,
know.
like you said, those millions make it a little bit easier to get up and go fight. But when you start making thousands and get beat up like that, it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Look at Adrian Broner. He's in that.
He's about billions, though, boy.
He's about broke. That's why he's still fighting.
That's messed up, man. Why you have to say that about my guy?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just keeping it real. No, seriously. But
it was a great time, and then we'll be right back there, hopefully soon, for the Canelo Alvarez fight.
Yeah, it's Jaime Munguia. Yeah, that's right. Munguia. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's gonna be a hell of a fight. I definitely want to see what the odds are on that fight right there, because it might be one you might want to put a couple of dollars down on, just because Canelo has been, highly favored in just about every fight. I think this fight here is going to be a lot more evenly played. If not, Munguia might have a little bit of slight edge. So definitely might you want to put a little wager on.
Put a wager on that, man. Well, you know what? We're going to find out here shortly. But, Book, it is also WrestleMania time.
Mm-hmm. I'm packing already. I'm getting packed already.
You're getting packed already. You got NXT, you got standard delivery, you got WrestleMania. There's a lot going on. Few things I'm sure we could preview about that show, but there was another thing in boxing I want to run by you real quick.
What's that?
Because there is something with a wrestling boxing crossover event potentially happening. Okay, because Kenny Omega on his Twitch stream has challenged Xavier Woods to a celebrity boxing match. He says he wants to be on a Triller fight card. Do it for real. He thinks it'd be a great fight. What are your odds? Set the odds for us. Kenny Omega, Xavier Woods, in a celebrity boxing match. What are you smiling for?
Plus 450 for Xavier Woods.
You put him at the underdog? No. I'm taking that bet. I think Xavier would get him out of here.
Minus 300.
Xavier Woods is going to get Kenny out of here. No problem. No problem at all. Man. His IQ's too high.
I'm gonna go with Kenny Omega. I'm gonna go with Kenny Omega on that one.
No, come on, man.
Kenny Omega.
Kenny's all the injuries Kenny's got. You know what I mean?
I mean, Xavier Woods is, he's been banged up a few times too.
He's been banged up, but he hasn't taken.
He's had a few surgeries. He's been out of action.
That's true.
We don't even know. Why he was out of action. You know what I mean? It was all disclosed. I mean, nothing disclosed. And look here, man. Xavier Woods could be beat up, banged up, bruised, battered, and torn. This guy been working for the last 20 years. Okay, all right.
So is Kenny.
No. Kenny Omega's been banged up as well. But my thing is this: I look at the fight game differently than you do. How much time has Xavier Woods spent in Japan?
I don't think any.
Exactly.
My knowledge.
That's why all my money is on Kenny Omega. The last over in Japan, you got to be rough, man. You got to be a dog. You got to know how to throw some hands. You know what I mean? Because they don't like guy jeans over there too much. Okay. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. And it's Booker T, 6-time world champion, my man Brad Gilmore from Manscaped. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is here. And let me tell you, it's got futuristic tendencies included in this bundle, guys. Brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose and hair trimmer, and essentials aftercare products like the Crop Soother, the Bald Aftershave Lotion, and the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant, and 2 free gifts. Oh, yes!
That's right, Book. Their 5th generation lawnmower features 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. And did I mention? It's waterproof too. Manscaped, They did us a favor, Book. All the listeners of the Hall of Fame, and they threw in 2 free gifts. The Boxers 2.0 and the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag. Resolutions may come and go, but a well-groomed you is here to stay with Manscaped's latest and greatest.
Yeah, and start the new year off right, because when you look good, you feel good. Manscaped help you sculpt the best version of yourself for the year ahead. New year and new you, and definitely a new trimmer. Manscaped got your grooming resolutions covered. Guys, get 20% off and free shipping with the code Booker at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code Booker. Happy New Year to your balls. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. So you saying if that fight go down, you got Xavier Woods, right?
I'm putting money on Xavier.
All right.
I'm putting money on Xavier.
All right. You're not gonna trust me.
I mean, of course I trust you, but sometimes I got to go by what do you always say? The sheen?
Yeah.
Is that what you say? The sheen?
Yeah.
I got to go by the eye test here. You know what I mean?
All right.
And look, and Xavier.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. We'll find out because if Xavier, all he got to do is accept the challenge, right?
Yeah, accept it. Do it.
So
Let's do it.
All you got to do is accept the challenge. I'm gonna tell you right now. If some sucker called me out in my heyday, bro, I'll be all over it. So I'm gonna tell you right now, Xavier, you need to accept this challenge. You don't want to back down from it. You know what I mean? You want to take this challenge. You want to go out there and you want to show this man who's the real deal. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So we'll find out. We'll find out real soon.
We will find out. Now, I want to actually, real quick. We have, a lot of people watching right now. Y'all put in the comments. Put in the comments who you got. You got Kenny. You got Xavier. That's what I want to know. Kenny or Xavier. I want to see what the people think. But we do have a super chat that came in right now, which kind of leads us into our next topic. Guru Shiki wants to know, got to know your thoughts on Jade in action. Jade Cargill made that official debut on SmackDown on Friday night, and she was spectacular in her the whole presentation. The entrance is incredible. She came out, kind of cut her promo, and then came back later in different gear, by the way, and shut it down against Damage Control, and it was announced that Naomi.
The gear was awesome.
Gear was awesome. Which one? Both of them, or?
Well, the first one was awesome, but the second one was killer. Yeah,
it was dope.
It was awesome.
Looked like a megastar.
Yeah,
looked like a megastar. And now we know it's going to be Damage Control taking on Bianca, Naomi, and Jade at WrestleMania. Just give me your whole thoughts of Jade Cargill and SmackDown, and do you like this matchup at WrestleMania?
I do. I like it just because remember I said, if Jade Cargill, if she was going to do something, she need to be highlighted. I didn't see her being in a tag match or anything like that. But as far as her presentation, it was awesome. As far as her in-ring work, I didn't think her in-ring work was bad, even when she was with AEW. I thought she was a work in progress. I think this time, being able to, come into the WWE, banner and then have that time to actually train a little bit more, and then be able to analyze it, and then be able to, critique it and break it down and say, okay, let's work on this. I think that you could tell, you could see the little bitty things, the little bitty changes. She didn't rush anything. Everything was totally just, she took her time. So now I see big things for Jade Cargill. Just like I said, when I first saw Jade Cargill on AEW, and I said, man, this girl got WWE potential.
Mm-hmm. Your exact words were, she has WWE written all over.
She got WWE written all over, and boom. I still feel the same way. I mean, she's a star, man. She's really a star. I mean, and somebody like Jade Cargill, they don't come around too often, man. They come around once in a blue moon. It's like China. Once in a blue moon, they come along. So yeah, man, big ups.
Yeah, a lot of people because I remember when we knew she was coming in, and then even after the Royal Rumble, when her and Bianca kind of had that bit of a stare down. People just wanted immediately to either see the match or see them together in some kind of respect. I mean, I saw so much of, I want to tag with Bianca and Jade, or man, Bianca versus Jade at WrestleMania. But now you're getting the 6-man. You throw Naomi in there, who Naomi came back at the Rumble too. That's a pretty forceful tag team. I don't like Damage Control's chances against Jade, Bianca, and Naomi.
Yeah. I'm like this here, man. I ain't gonna never say never or anything like that, but that is opposing. It's an opposing group, But anything can happen, man. You cannot look past Damage Control because got a lot of experience there. I mean, I know I'm trying to be play devil's advocate here, and not just try to bury one team like you are. But
I'm not trying to bury them. I'm just saying I don't like their chances.
Now you buried him. You buried him. You know what I mean? But for me,
I don't like their chances.
Say what?
You don't like Kenny Omega. I mean, you don't like Xavier Woods' chances against Kenny Omega. I don't like Damage Control's chances against Bianca, Jade, and Naomi.
Yeah. All right. That's a fair assessment. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you right there in the comments, everybody saying Kenny Omega. That's what I just noted. Everybody saying.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. We'll have to tally it up later. I don't think that's true. I did see some comments of people wanting us to address this from last week's Raw. We talked a little bit about The Rock and Cody, I believe, or we did that on the radio. What did you think of this segment with Drew and Punk and Seth? A lot of people wanted to know your thoughts on that. They said it had an Attitude Era feel to it.
Yeah, we were just talking about that not too long ago. It had an Attitude Era feel to it. It felt like the guys were vibing, and I really feel like this time with The Rock coming back is really giving guys the ability to understand, how to go out there and feel their way through a promo, opposed to just going out there and just doing the promo. It's just like the blooper clip of The Rock the other day where they went off the air, but The Rock was like, "Bro, I'm in it. Ain't got that. We ain't off the air yet. The camera's still rolling. The camera's still rolling. We still on the air. You know what I mean? It's as serious as you possibly can make it." And with that thing, with Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, all of that stuff went down. You didn't know what was going to happen at the end. You didn't see that coming.
No,
you didn't see that coming because the promo was so tight. The promo had a good real feel to it. It seemed like two guys that were just, it was just banter going back and forth. One of those type of deals. It didn't feel like somebody was just reading their lines. Yeah. That's the Attitude Era that I feel like is definitely the company's kind of like getting back to a little bit. I don't think it'll ever get back to the Attitude Era, just because there again, there was a lot of great actors like The Rock back in the Attitude Era.
Yeah. And there's certain things about I know people fantasize the Attitude Era because of like people like you and Austin and Rock and Taker and Triple H and Mick Foley and all the people who were on top back then. But there was a lot of like not good stuff too in the Attitude Era, like a lot of not good stuff. And, the way that the women were positioned back then obviously isn't going to be something that happens in today's times, nor should it be. But as far as the realness of it, that segment felt like improv to me. You know what I mean? It felt like they called the three of them over and said, "Look, this is what we need out of this segment. All right, we just need this to get over. However y'all want to get there, y'all can get it to it that way." Because some of the lines that they were saying and things they were throwing out and jokes that were being made, I don't think were written by anybody. That was happening in the moment. At least it felt that way. And so either they are that good of actor or they were just riding with the wave that the people were giving them. And, that crowd in Chicago, 14, 15,000 sold out, was awesome. And they were there for the entire segment. And there were a lot of great lines. When CM Punk said, "I never had to put another man's name on a shirt to sell it," that was a good line to Drew. When Drew said, "You don't smoke or drink, but you spend all your time in rehab," hilarious line. And then to me, that felt like gloves were off a little bit. Like, hey, man, say what you want to say out there, right?
Yeah.
Don't you feel that way?
No, like I say, it was it definitely had that feel to it, and I think right now I really, and and people they're gonna look at me and say, that's not true. I really feel like The Rock being back has helped the show out so much, man. Just because the guys need that blueprint of the way it should go and the way it should feel when you're doing it, and nobody can say that The Rock is not delivering right now. Nobody can say, oh well, we don't want to see The Rock, he should stay at home. Nobody can say that WrestleMania isn't as big as it is this year, not because of The Rock. No one can say that. No one can say that. This dude has really put wrestling back in a position where people are watching that, just like we were just talking about last week. Over the last, few years, wrestling has been in that PG mode to where, a lot of kids watch it. As a grown man, around your buddies, you're not going to say, hey man, hey, I got to get home, man. I got to go watch Raw tonight. You know what I mean? I got to get SmackDown. Now it's no problem. Go and watch wrestling with your boys because it's like The Rock said. I've made it cool again, and that's what wrestling honestly needed, a shot in the arm for it to be looked at as cool again. Because I feel like when adults are watching it, that's when it's really turned up to another notch. That's when you really are off into the stories, when adults are watching it, because it is a male soap opera. It really, truly is that male soap opera that you can get into and say, man, this is, something I can't miss next week. I got to see it.
And you're right. It feels like that. Knowing tonight, the bloodline's going to be on Raw makes me go, man, I can't tape this. I got to watch this. I got to see what happens. I don't want to miss out on anything. And of course, the WrestleMania era or WrestleMania season always feels like you can't miss. But this one, WrestleMania 40, it's appropriate that it's WrestleMania XL because it feels like that. It feels like extra large. You know what I mean? Extra excitement, extra big, extra everything. And it's just a couple days away, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to see these things pay off. And you know what's also cool is like with The Rock and Cody's stuff, to me, you already have post WrestleMania. If Rock wants to stick around, you already got a ready-made program with The Rock and Cody one-on-one because people want to see that. You got a ready-made program. Hold on, with Rock.
We got to take a break. The Rock ain't sticking around. Okay, all right. And forget about it.
Oh yeah, he's playing. What's his name? Who's he playing? He's playing.
I'm not sure who he's playing, but he ain't got time. Look, he got to go back to work. Right now, he's just getting everybody's mouth watered, just like yours, getting the juices flowing, just like yours right now. Everybody's excited, just like you are right now. That's what The Rock is bringing to the table. He's going to leave somebody else in control of that. And it might be Cody Rhodes. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
2 long years I've waited for my return. 2 long years I've been training, growing, and doing whatever it takes to get better, to become faster, stronger, deadlier. Finally, I make my return to reality of wrestling. The last time I came, I plowed my way through. This time, I'm coming for a fight. So be prepared. My name is Showdown, and I come with the spirits of the Pahlawan Malayu flowing through my veins, and I shall lay waste to anyone who stands in my way. And this is a prophecy.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. But we're getting close to wrapping up. We got a short show today. We've been preempted this week, but we're still giving it to you. We still bringing it to you because that's what we do, man. Oh yes, man. But yeah.
Rock's playing Mark Kerr, by the way, coming up. Mark Kerr, UFC heavyweight tournament champion. He's gonna be playing Mark Kerr in a movie called The Smashing Machine that I think starts filming after WrestleMania.
Man, Mark Kerr, man, he's got a really, really good story. I don't know if you checked it out. I mean, the fight game is tragic. The fight game is it's a rough game, especially coming from that Mark Kerr era. He was the I guess the originator of the ground and pound, right? So I tell you, man, that's a hell of a role to play. Hell of a role to play. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Should be a good one. So that's where he's going to be doing. But what I was saying though is like WWE has so many ready-made top main event feuds to go with if they wanted to. I mean, not just Rock and Cody or Rock and Roman, but Punk and McIntyre, Punk and Rollins. Like there's all these big matches that are already kind of in the pipeline. And I read somewhere that Drew McIntyre's contract's coming up and they need to re-sign this man. I'm saying it right, because he's had the best resurgence of his character in these last 3 to 4 months. And for what he did during the COVID era and what he's doing now, give that man an extension.
Sign him up. No, I agree. Sign him up. I mean, I like Drew. I mean, he's a player. He's a guy that's put in a lot of work, and a lot of times it's the stuff that you don't see. As far as what really make a guy a real player, what really make that guy that general, and that dude, man, he's truly one of them. Seriously.
So we'll see. Now, I think on our Wednesday show, we'll probably do a bit of a rundown of the card at WrestleMania, but Stand and Deliver is also going to be on WrestleMania Saturday. We don't want anyone to forget. And now I know today is April Fool's Day, and your commentary partner, Vic Joseph, is suspicious by a tweet that went out, but I think it's legitimate. Did you see what Dijak tweeted out today about you and Vic Joseph?
No, what did he tweet?
This is what he said. He said at 8:30 this morning, just wanted to give a shout out to Booker T and Vic Joseph. Commentary is so vital to what we do, and they both constantly exceed my expectations. Professionally, they always translate my ideas perfectly, and as a viewer, they keep me consistently entertained and engaged. I think that sounds like a genuine emotion for me. Vic Joseph said, wait, is this an April Fool's joke? But I don't think that it is. What do you think of what Dijak said about you and Vic?
Hey, man, I appreciate Dijak. I appreciate all those guys at NXT. My job is to, go out there and entertain and try to make those guys look as good as I possibly can. I got to give Vic a whole lot of credit, man, because Vic controls that show like, the maestro, literally, guy that's leading the band. And for me, I just try to make sure I do my part. And, got guys like Dijak, who's next level. This guy's he's not like, a gatekeeper or anything like that. This is a guy that's there again, a general down in NXT. He's a guy that's a major player in NXT, and you can move him to the main roster right now. And I really think Dijak could be a player. And I'm not just saying that for the kind words or anything like that. I've actually sat and talked with Dijak, many occasions, as far as, just working on certain little bitty things, and he's coachable. And that's the one thing about this business. You got to be coachable, so like I say, for me, I appreciate it.
The when guys come to you or to Vic with ideas, like how do you process that? Do you like listen and be like, okay, this is what you want from me, or do you let Vic handle that and you add your own spice?
No, certain guys will come to us and they'll tell us, hey, this is what I'm, thinking about, and this is what I'm, this the route I'm trying to take in this, you know what I mean? So it'll give us a direction to the way we really want to approach it, opposed to just, not knowing what the story could possibly be leading to, so that for us, that's great, but sometimes guys come with ideas, and, you might, for me as a coach, as a trainer, as a teacher, I might say, well, you might want to do it this way opposed to doing it that way. Right. But for me, at the end of the day, like what Dijak just said, at the end of the day, at NXT, sitting at that desk, it's never about me. It's not about Vic. It's going to be about those guys that's performing on a weekly basis. It's going to be about those girls going out there on a weekly basis doing their thing. And if Vic and I can enhance that in any way, shape, or form, that's our job.
Oh, well, we'll see what rolls around for you and Vic on NXT. We did get a super chat here regarding, I believe this is regarding the main event at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. This is from Guru Ishiki again. I feel like Damian Priest is the dark horse in all of this. Could there be a repeat of the title being taken away like it happened with Dusty? Of course, Damian Priest is the Money in the Bank holder. Maybe he's saying Cody does finish the story and immediately gets it taken away from him by Damian Priest. I think Priest is going to have a presence at WrestleMania. I think it might not be this world title match. I think it might be the other one. But I do kind of like the history repeating itself aspect.
I mean, it does has a good ring to it. It actually smells pretty good. But I think that would be such a letdown. Of course, with Dusty. It was a letdown, but I think that would be like deflating a freaking basketball if that happened to Cody Rhodes.
Especially after last year's WrestleMania, you kind of left disappointed.
You were exactly. People have been waiting on this, and the thing is, I get it. I totally get it because it's wrestling, and it's very, very important to really, really keep those storylines going. But I really think that this story is one that's got to be definitive. That's just me. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong.
I also think because the thing is too, I have an idea of how I think WrestleMania is going to end, but I don't want to put it out there because if it does happen that way, it'll be such a great moment for everybody that I don't want someone to say, "Oh, Brad saw this coming." I don't want to ruin it. Is what
Brad had to, he's like a psychic.
He's like a psychic. But I do think I know how this is. I know how it's going to end. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to write it down and seal it up in an envelope. And
do that and send it to me, and then I'll just keep it sealed until after WrestleMania.
We'll do that. We'll do that because I could be way off. But if they do what I think that they might do, it's going to solidify Cody Rhodes as one of the biggest names in professional wrestling history. They're gonna try to solidify him as one of the biggest names in history and give him the ultimate. What do you call it in the business?
The rub.
Yeah, give him the ultimate
rub. My thing is, you're exactly right. You're exactly right about that one. I agree with you 100% on that one right there. Cody Rhodes is a star, and one thing about this business, in the past, it's always been about building those mega stars. Because when you have abundance of megastars, man, the show is just that much better. When the guy walk out the curtain, he's a star. The next guy walk, he's a star. The next guy. That's when the show is, getting in that right place for me. Because that's the way I watched it when I was coming up. Every guy that came out of that damn curtain felt like they had star power, and all of them could be champion. All of them. I don't care if it was Hercules Hernandez.
He felt like he could be the guy.
He felt like he could be the guy.
Yeah, I like Hercules.
I loved Hercules Hernandez.
Hercules Hernandez was awesome, man.
He was awesome, man. But he never won the world title.
No, he didn't.
But he was a guy that you could believe winning the world title.
Well, yeah. There were so many guys from that era who never even won a title, let alone the world title.
Exactly.
And they could have. Very easily.
All of them were
the fact that Jake the Snake wasn't a world champion.
I could say those guys were stars, though, man. You looked at those guys like top notch. Ricky Steamboat. You know what I mean? He never won a WWE World Championship. You know what I mean?
No, Intercontinental.
Exactly. So
we have one other one here before we wrap up. Tabari Quarles says, "What about the Raw episode after WrestleMania? Does Priest cash in then?" I think a Priest cash in. I don't know what the odds are on that. We should go over the WrestleMania odds on Wednesday. Maybe I don't think you can bet ethically on the WrestleMania odds, but I could. So we might have to go through them. Maybe place a couple bets. But
I don't bet on wrestling though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think actually betting on wrestling is a smart idea. But they do offer lines on it. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
They offer lines on it. Yeah. Tabari Quarles, what about the Raw? I think that Priest is going to have a cash-in attempt for sure. But I don't know.
He's got to have an attempt. He's got to have an attempt sooner or later. All right. I mean, he's been running around with that damn briefcase for that forever. You know what I mean? But he's got to have an attempt cash in sooner or later. But I don't know.
I would keep a really close eye on that tag team title match that they're involved in. I'd keep a close eye on what happens in that match, and that might give us an inkling as to what could happen later.
We'll see. But we got to get out of here, man. We got to get out of here. Time's up. Show's over, pal. We got to get up out of here, bro. Hey, man, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today, getting the champagne, wishes, caviar, dreams, Brad, for all the heavy lifting. And like I always say, next time, guys, peace. We love you. We out.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show.
Kevin Millar, we're all paying rent in Ohtani's world, right?
And the Dodgers world, game is healthy, game is good. And, I get asked a lot, is that good for baseball? Yeah, it's good for baseball. This is definitely the team to beat, because that should be your next question, Richie, is this World Series a bust for the Dodgers and Dave Roberts?
Hell yeah. Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Hi there. Sorry for the interruption, but are you enjoying this show on Google Podcasts? You should know that the Google Podcasts app is going away this spring. That's right, going away, gone as in no longer available. You can still enjoy this show elsewhere though. Try out Spotify or Amazon Music, or maybe TuneIn is more your style. Whatever app you switch to, be sure to follow so you never miss the next episode. And thanks for listening, wherever you listen.